In the winter of 2023, I watched Steven Universe, the movie, and Future for the first time. And I loved it. This has quickly become my favorite TV show ever. There's quite a lot to talk about in this show, so join me as I go over why Steven Universe was great.
We are the Crystal Gems. We'll always save the day. And if you think we can't, we'll always find a way. That's why the people of this world
believe in
garnets, amethyst, and pearl, and Steven!
So, Season 2. From this point on, the seasons are much shorter, and I'm going to be structuring these videos a bit differently as well. Now, to me, this season can be split up into 3 arcs. The first one lasts from Full Disclosure to Chili Tide, and doesn't really have a single thing it focuses on. These episodes serve to show the aftermath of the last season, starting off with the season opener Full Disclosure, which has one of the best songs in the show. It's great at re-establishing the status quo and setting up Connie taking a more active role in the story, when we eventually see her train to be a sword fighter with Pearl, and eventually coming clean to what she's been doing to her mother. I don't care what anyone says, including the episode itself, but Say Uncle is fucking canon. After this episode, Steven is consistently able to summon his shield easily until getting hit with Spinel's Rejuvenator in the movie. And this includes moments from season 1, like the return, since this takes place before then, cause look at Garnet. That's season 1 Garnet. And I don't think it's that crazy to say that Uncle Grandpa would have the ability to transport himself into the Steven universe. Also this.
You should make sure you get this thing polished at least twice a year.
There's a nice balance of chill episodes like Love Letters, Rising Tides, Crashing Skies, and We Need to Talk, and episodes with significant development like Reformed and Keeping It Together. The former being the last episode with the original intro. I do like the updated intro a lot, but when you get to season 4 and 5, it just feels weird using it when Amethyst has a completely different design, although this design is significantly better than her design in those seasons. I'm sorry, I do not like that design at all. But back to season 2. I like the build-up surrounding Peridot. This bit with her and Steven might be one of the funniest moments in the entire show to me.
Properly. A few have even emerged early. Are the other ones with you? Of course. Why not?
Peridot!
But obviously, the main part of this episode is establishing the artificial gem shard fusions as set up for the cluster. I love this episode for how it shows the audience how Garnet feels about fusion, and the anger she feels over these gems being forced to fuse against their will. And we get a bunch more stories about fusion later. We need to talk about an example of positive fusion through Rainbow Quartz, and Chili Tide, which brings back and actually names the horribly toxic fusion of Laspis and Jasper, Malachite. But obviously, Garnet's reaction to forced fusion is mainly there to re-establish her feelings, to make this moment more impactful.
I'm sorry. It's just so much fun being sardonyx with you.
This brings me to the second arc of the season, lasting from Cry to Help to Friendship. The way Steven Universe haters talk about Cry for Help makes me want to tear my eyeballs out. I had a little rant in part 1 about the people who say fusion is sex, and that media illiteracy, media illiteracy is giving them too much credit. It's just pure idiocy. Is that a word? I don't fucking care. I can't be bothered with these people. But it becomes so much more infuriating when this episode is brought up. Fusion is very clearly explained many times.
When we synchronize our forms, we can combine into a powerful fusion gem named Opal. Opal is an amalgam of our combined magical and physical attributes fused into a single entity.
It's all of both.
When two gems combine, it creates something greater than the sum of their parts. That's why I'm so great.
And if you hear all that and your mind just thinks sex, I'm gonna be honest, I'm willing to bet every cent that I own that you're just a porn addict. What Pearl did to Garnet was horrible. Absolutely horrible, there's no denying that. But saying that it is the equivalent to sexual assault is absolutely fucking disgusting. Ugh. To all the people who think that this is equivalent to sexual assault, I just have one message for you. Murder Drones, Episode 5, time code 1 minute 43 seconds. Anyway, back to actually being intelligent. I appreciate this episode for showing us how these characters aren't perfect people, and despite how much we see them put up on this high pedestal by Steven, they are still capable of doing horrible things. Because that's just reality. Good people are still capable of horrible actions. And Pearl's actions aren't immediately forgiven, or really at all. And yeah, Garnet has every right to not forgive her. I love just how simple the following episodes are. There's no big dramatic conflict, it's just a few episodes of life. I didn't really mention Ruby and Sapphire in part 1, because I couldn't really think of anything to say about them, but they actually get a whole episode here in Keystone Motel, where not only do we see the different ways they have reacted to what Pearl did, but also just their relationship when they aren't fused, and they're absolutely adorable.
You know what's nice about being split up?
What?
I get to look at you.
Be serious.
There's my laffy saffy.
You're embarrassing me in front of Steven.
I also really love the way each of them is presented. They're both hurting in very real ways, but showing it differently. Ruby is very much showing how angry she is, and Sapphire is doing her best to keep calm. With Sapphire, she isn't outwardly expressing how upset she is. She wants to move past this. She wants to mend their relationship with Pearl, but she obviously is still very much hurting. And then you have the inverse with Ruby, who is very outwardly expressing her frustration and anger, but deep down, like Sapphire, still wants to eventually mend that relationship with Pearl, even if it does take quite a while for them to get there. Then the following episodes, Onion Friend and Historical Friction, give us a little insight into how these events have affected Amethyst and Pearl. More so Amethyst, and even then, we're only seeing the glimpses that Steven gets, since that's, the whole point of the show is it's all from Steven's perspective. We even get some character exploration and world building, including introducing us to Amethyst and Vidalia's friendship, and giving us a little history lesson to the history of Beach City. And then we get Friendship, where Pearl has to come to terms with the fact that making up for what she did isn't so simple. She's still able to rebuild her relationship with Garnet, but it takes time and effort. She can't just say sorry and that's it, even if she really, really means it. Also, speaking on their relationship, I kinda didn't know how to bring her up, so I'll just do it here. Sardonyx is fucking awesome. I know that was a bit of a switch in tone, but fuck it. Sardonyx is awesome. Great design, super fun personality, and I would 100% be an avid viewer of her show if it was real. Now, before the final arc, there's 2 episodes in between that don't really fit in anywhere. They're just kind of there. I already briefly mentioned Nightmare Hospital with Connie and her mom, but Sadie's song is really fun. Not much to say. I like Sadie, I like this episode, and I really like Haven't You Noticed That I'm a Star? Good song. But now onto the final arc, the saga of Peridot, lasting from catch and release to the season finale, log date 7512. Now, I've already talked about most of these episodes in my video on why I love Peridot, so I'm mostly going to be repeating myself here. In Season 1, Peridot was shown to be very calm and confident, but after getting stranded on Earth, we see her getting more and more panicked, which is a great way to build mystery and suspense. This of course turns out to be her fear of the cluster destroying the Earth, and her not being able to get off the planet. We get episodes dedicated to Peridot connecting with each of the crystal gems. When It Rains for Steven, Back to the Barn for Pearl, Too Far for Amethyst, then a little gap before log date 7512 for Garnet. It's through Peridot that we learn so much about Homeworld, like how different gems are expected to do one thing just because of who they are, how fusion is seen, and of course the big one, the first appearance of one of the diamonds. Yes, blue technically appears before yellow, but does this really count? And again, like I said in the Peridot video, Rose doesn't count either. We saw her as Rose, not pink. Peridot is also just an amazing character. Like, I made a whole video on why I love her so much. Her character arc throughout these episodes is probably my second favorite character arc of the show after Steven himself. It's so wonderful seeing how much she grows and how each of the gems influence her in different ways. Alright, now I'm gonna talk about music, starting with the song ranking.
I'll do my best to give this gem the sweetness it deserves.
And I'll keep it fresh. I'm jamming on the
What can I do for you? Human man, you are so much fun.
And now you're here forever. What about you? What about me?
Well, you're here too. We're here together.
I forgot how great it felt to be us. Guess I got carried away. I had to use you to make me feel strong, but I don't care about that now. As I'm moving forward,
Concentrate. Don't you want him to live?
right foot, left foot.
Yes, but put your whole body into it. Everything you have, everything you are, you've got to give. On the battlefield, when everything is chaos, and you have nothing but
I guess we're already here. I guess we already know. We've all got something to fear. We've all got nowhere to go. I think you're all insane, but I guess I am too. Anybody would be if they were stuck on Earth with you.
If I make a scene, stepping out of my hot pink limousine, I'm turning heads and I'm stopping traffic. When I pose, they scream, and when I joke, they laugh. I've got a
Everybody told me gem stuff's dangerous. I guess I didn't believe it until now. Dad always seemed apprehensive, and now he's really freaking out. What do? I don't want that for you.
Most of the songs this season are really relaxing. The Gem song and Peace and Love on the Planet Earth especially. And on the latter, hey, Peridot, the best character, got a song. Yippee! Rose also gets her only song with What Can I Do? And honestly, it's a shame this was her only one, cause Susan Egan has a great singing voice. And sure, Amethyst gets to sing in a bunch of songs, but it is a bit upsetting that Tower of Mistakes is her only solo. Steven Universe Season 2 is a wonderful continuation of the first. It does a great job at world building, showing us new sides of our characters, showing us the deeper and even flawed aspects of them, with a big focus on the best character of the show, with one of the best arcs in the show. And while both were great in the first season, the animation and music see a big improvement. And it would be a great sit of me not to mention the greatest moment of the entire show.
555 deluxe with no cheese. Ugh. Yep, perfect landing.
I don't know what it is about this clip. What the fuck does it even mean? It's just, what? Why did he say that? And then he just fucking face plants. It's hilarious. It's peak. I love this clip so much. That's all I guess I got for you today. So like and subscribe, and I will see you later.